Baseball fans. Oh man, it's a sad Saturday in Chicago as both of our teams took L's today. We're gonna talk about it though right on the other side of this.
Welcome to the number one place for all Chicago baseball. Let's start the show.
Pacman in the building with your boy Big Bro. We are your host for Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox Central and Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs Central, however you want to say it. But what's that blinking, man? Is your phone ringing?
No. Something blinking?
Yeah, it looked like the light was blinking. Don't trip though.
I don't know what that is.
So we had losses today for the Cubs and the White Sox. We're gonna start with the Cubs out there in LA. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first series loss of the season for the Chicago Cubs.
They got one more. They're going for the season split tomorrow.
Also, they playing 4 games in this one. Okay.
4 games, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they got the series split. If they lose, then they lose that series. Okay, cool. I thought it was a 3-game series for this one, but the Cubs have lost 2 out of 3 so far to the Dodgers. One was on a grand slam at the end of the game in the first one, and then they killed them on the Cubs killed them in the second game, and then the third game, LA took care of business versus the Cubs. It was a 9-5 today. They got to West Nevsky today. It just wasn't a good game.
Nah, not at all. Across the board, it wasn't.
Let's talk about it. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Dodgers did what they did. They adjusted to the Cubs game plan. They attacked the rookie, put a lot of balls in play, a lot of contact with Snesky again. We thought he got over the hump with the against the A's his last start, but here he just didn't have a feel for his slider. He defaulted to the cutters and the sinkers, and he was just getting too much of the plate. He didn't go. He left with not too much damage. He left with just 3 runs in the fourth. He didn't last so long, but this doesn't bode well moving forward for him. And again, the Cubs couldn't, as good as they've been all season, they couldn't actually drive in the runs when they needed. They had a couple of bases loaded situations. They had a run on second and third and couldn't drive the runner in. So we seeing a lot of power from Nico Horner, who actually hit his second home run in the second consecutive day. But again, competitive loss, I want to say. But
yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was 6-4 going into the 9th inning, and then Cubs ended up giving up 3 runs in the top of the 9th, and that's pretty much what put the game out of reach. But prior to that, it was a close game all throughout the game.
Yeah, they competitive. They didn't execute in some areas, and it happens. You can't get mad at it. Like what they've been doing all season, they've been cashing in a lot of runs. One of my big things I hate for teams never to drive in runs when the base is loaded. And the Cubs have been doing it quite often. The White Sox have been doing it quite often this year, but they make up for it later in the games and in crucial moments. They make the timely hits, but this is a team that's still learning, and also the lineup construction. Once you get to the bottom of the order, what can you expect for those guys? What you expecting from a Tucker Barnhart? Even though Hosh might hit a double today, like what are you expecting from him? What are you expecting from Mancini? Even though he was on fire yesterday, and matter of fact, the last couple of days, but what you expecting from him in that bottom of the order? Really being a run producer when you have a top heavy lineup.
And the difference is really runners in scoring position. Whereas the Dodgers went 3 for 11 today with runners in scoring position. The Cubs were 0 for 6, so they didn't get any hits today with runners in scoring position. They also had an error. Wisdom had a fielding error, and then you just had seven runners left on base, and that right there is a recipe for disaster. So hopefully tomorrow the Cubs take care of business as they close out the series. This Dodgers, they playing them 2 times in the last few games, like in the last couple of weeks. So
I hope James Outman is not playing, because he looked like he just loved feasting against the Cubs. Both of these series, I think every home run he hit has been against the Cubs, like literally.
Yeah,
he had 3 home runs this series, 2 home runs the last. I don't know. I think he had every home run, all his RBIs against the Cubs this year.
And he's been
like a world beater.
He's been on base a lot too. So tomorrow the Cubs have Marcus Stroman taking the mound against Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw's 3-1 with a 2.52 ERA, 19 hits given up. and 26 strikeouts, 4 walks, 3 home runs, and 25 innings. Stroman has been pretty much lights out this season. 2-1 with a 0.75 ERA, 24 innings pitched, 12 hits given up, 25 strikeouts, and 10 walks, with 0 homers given up. That should be a good game tomorrow for the Cubs. It's going to be at
Low
120.
scoring, low scoring game. Hope we can squeak out a 3-1 win.
Yes, sir. We got Sunday baseball in Chicago. Tickets as low as $20. Make sure y'all go ahead and make y'all way out to the stadium. It's kind of chilly. It's snowing right now. We just had 90, 80, 90 degrees for the last 2 weeks. Now it's snowing. Welcome to Chicago. We appreciate everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching us. The Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs Central. The Chicago Cubs took an L today to the Dodgers, and then the White Sox got walked off again. Back-to-back games where the White Sox compete with the best team in baseball in their stadium and just come up short. Today was an extra innings. Last night, Lopez gave up 2 home runs and a base hit in 11 pitches for the White Sox to lose that game, even though they were up 2 going into that inning, to the 9th inning. And then today, they had 3 solo home runs, one from Eloy Jimenez, one from Gavin Sheets, and I think Grandal hit the other one. But that's all the offense that they got today. They didn't do too much, and in an extra innings, they didn't get that runner in scoring position from second base on over in, and Tampa Bay did. So the White Sox end up losing that game. What do you think about the White Sox game today?
Now I want to say this. I give David Ross a lot of flack, but Grafal, you have to know Rosarena is the best big game hitter, the best clutch hitter. We just seen it in the World Baseball Classic. We done seen it in the playoffs in 2020, 21, 2022. Why are you intentionally walking someone ahead of him to face him? Like, what made you think that was a good match? He is the best. He would have been down 0-2 and still would have got that hit. I just don't understand it. You should have pitched to that guy and put your hands up. If you would have got him out, I would have walked Rosarena right there. I wouldn't say that's a bad manager decision, but the data you had in your hand, I don't know what you thought that Jimmy Lambert was going to get out literally the best clutch hitter in baseball. Like, I just don't get it.
And it's almost like he could have stuck with Lopez. He had command of his fastball today as opposed to yesterday. Put him back out there and let him try to get those outs for that extra inning, but he just didn't do it. Lambert, man, just served one right up on the platter. But Dylan Cease looked good today.
I mean, of course, Dylan Cease is going to look solid, but it's a far cry from when he started off at the beginning of the season. You saw him very dominant at the beginning of the season, 10 strikeouts, no walks. Then the next 3 starts, he walked a lot. He didn't walk that many. I think he walked about 2 or 3 batters today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he's not striking out batters like he was. He's making a lot of contact.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Because today he did 6 innings, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And he also gave up a home run. But, it wasn't, he didn't give up a bunch of runs. And that's the name of the game, is keeping them off of the scoreboard. And then the bullpen held Middleton, Santos, and Graveman and Lopez all came in and did their thing. None of them gave up runs. Lambert did, though. Lambert came in and gave up the run that matters. And the White Sox fall to the Tampa Bay Rays 4-3 today, and then they're going to play tomorrow. So obviously the White Sox have already lost this series. Two games and 1-run losses. They play the Tampa Bay Rays tomorrow. It's going to be Giolito on the mound versus Zach Eflin. Giolito's 1-1. He's 4.29 ERA, 21 innings pitched, 22 hits, 23 strikeouts, and 4 walks, 2 home runs given up. Whereas Eflin on the other side with 3.27 ERA, he's 2-0, 11 innings pitched, 12 hits, 12 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 home run. So the White Sox, man, they got a lot of work to do. Tampa Bay has yet to lose at home. They had 2 opportunities to beat these guys, and they just did not get it done. So we're going to hope that the White Sox can get it done. And it's an early game tomorrow, about 12:40, Sunday afternoon baseball in Florida. All right, man. There we have it. Sad Saturday in Chicago. Both teams go down, but hey, we got positive outlooks. The Cubs can continue their streak of not losing a series to start the season by winning tomorrow and tying them up 2-2. And the White Sox can do what they've been doing, taking 1 out of 3. We're going to see how they do tomorrow. Of course, we're going to be right here after the game. Had a little technical difficulties with my laptop today. That's why we were late. We're going to be on time tomorrow. We're going to holler at y'all. Pacman in the building with Big Bro. This is Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox Central, or Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs Central, however you want to say it. You can hit us up at 773-389-6954 to leave a voicemail, or hit us with an email at chicagobaseballcentral.com. Remember to follow all the Central family channels. We got Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central, Chicago Cubs. I mean, not what I'm talking about. We got the Chicago Sky Central, and then we also have the Cognac Gang with the Shy Bulls podcast. Who you got tonight in the fight? You going Pacman? You going Tank or Garcia?
I already say I got Tank. Tank with a knockout. Going
Tank
6 rounds. Knockout 6 rounds.
Tank gonna have to knock that boy out. And we got some NBA playoff action tonight too. So it's a busy Saturday as we head into Sunday. We're gonna see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Welcome to the #1 place for all Chicago baseball.